Hey everyone, in today's video, I want to show you the features of the new Imperial Outdoors Outback 120. Now, Imperial Outdoors has been making larger caravans for quite a while. They're built out of Wisconsin and they're really well known for their insulating factors. The larger caravans can actually be rated up to minus 40 degrees. This is their first version of a smaller teardrop, and they asked XGRiD campers to join in with them and help them get them distributed. So we're very excited to have this in our portfolio now. What we like about the Outback 120 is its size, its weight, its configurability, and it gives you a lot of options for how you want to set this up at a really good price point. These trailers are coming in at a base price right now, somewhere around $42,000, and outfitted the way we have it here, you're in the 50 to 52 range. This comes with a Cruise Master suspension, the full insulation package, Victron communications, and a ton of features. So it's packed up really well for a price point with a very, very durable off-road trailer. Let's take a look around. One thing that's really nice about this trailer is the kitchen configuration. We do have the Dometic CFX 75-liter fridge set up top. So this is your dual zone fridge. You can set the temperatures from either side. You can flip this lid around as well. So if you want to access it from the front of the trailer, you can do that. And then the slide slides back in place. On the rear of the kitchen, we have the rest of the galley. Slide out stove, the Dometic sink, nice pantry storage right here. You do have some lighting for inside the pantry as well as the outside. The built-in paper towel holder, which is always nice, of course, and your wind guards for the stove. You do have hot water right into the sink as well, so it makes it really easy and convenient to pull everything out and start cooking right away. You'll notice on this side of the trailer, we're covered by the OVS 180 awning. We have a lot of options for awning configurations on this trailer. This one we're going to show you, we have two 180 awnings. Imperial Outdoors has actually worked with OVS to do this as a full 360. So you can get spacer panels on the front between these two awnings if you want to do that and cover the entire front of the trailer. That's very unique in this situation. Typically you'd have to do a 270 overlapping itself, but now we can do two 180s. You insert the panel on the front or the rear and you can have the full 360. Now on this trailer, I'm going to show you, we actually have the rooftop tent, so we're not going to do the rear spacer. So if we didn't have the rooftop tent, we could then go ahead and do the insert right here to allow for this full 360-degree coverage on the rear part of the trailer. So with your tent, of course, you have sleeping for probably 4, maybe 5 if they're kids. But without the tent, you do have an option for a 12-volt air conditioner. So if you're doing that hot weather camping, you want the AC, there is an option for a rooftop air conditioner with 400 watts of solar panel. So it does give you a lot of flexibility to do that. We can put solar panels on top of the tent as well if you're doing that, or do the portable solar panels. This is the Mamba tent by OVS. We do have the rear storage box. We're using that as a ladder mount, so you can climb up there, have a place to stand before you're getting into the tent, which is really nice. And you have tons of accessibility there. This is an option for this trailer, which is your traction board mounts. So if you want to have a place to put your traction boards on the trailer, you can do that as well. One thing that's really nice about how Imperial Outdoors builds these trailers, which is the same as their X195 series, is you have a T-slot that goes all the way around the perimeter of this trailer. So this is a fiberglass body, and then the entire exoskeleton are these T-slots. So it allows us to mount different components on here for accessories. In this situation, like I said, we've got the traction board mounted here. We have a rear molly panel. We have a storage box, which is great for pantry or other gear. And it all mounts to the built-in exoskeleton that comes standard on these rigs. So on the driver's side of the Outback 120, we have the electrical system. Now this is being run with a Go Power shore charger, and then using the Victron solar DC to DC and inverter with the Victron Servo GX for your display screen. On this particular trailer, we decided to go with a Epic 300 amp hour lithium battery. This fits perfectly in this little setup. It's heated, it's Bluetooth, it's 11-year warranty, and it does have Victron communications on this Pro Series, so we can sync in to the servo and actually see our voltage and current draw from the display screen inside. For heating, we have the Truma Combi, so this is your hot water and furnace. running off of propane. Really nice setup there. Gives you nice control on the inside and really will warm this cabin up really fast in this size trailer. With the Outback, we have a 30-gallon water tank, and it is heated. So we have a 12-volt tank pad heater that you can turn on in those freezing conditions to protect the water system. And then we have the manifold right here so you can hook up to city water and use it as your flush valve as well. Up here you do have an outdoor shower, so this is connected to the hot water system. You do have a hot water shower here. And if you're not running this other awning, we can do a shower enclosure on this side instead of the awning. In this situation, because we wanted to have the two awnings, we would typically either do a wall kit right here for privacy, or maybe just a stand-up shower enclosure that you can put on the ground and attach down. And that way you still have the option of having the awning out. On the underside of the Outback 120, you have two recovery points, which you can use to recover this vehicle if you're stuck, as well as a rear receiver. So if you're going to use that for an attachment for a bike mount, you can do that. Or as a third recovery point, you can also use it that way. We're running the ARC stabilizer jack, so those are really nice, as well as the ARC tongue jack on the front of the trailer. So this does give you nice stability when you're camping. You can get a little bit of leveling out of it within your kind of suspension range. And on the front of the Outback 120, we have a great storage compartment. The 20-pound propane tank sits right up here, storage on the side, a shelf up above. It's great for your wheel chocks and some of the gear that you're carrying, when you're towing and everything. On the top, a very spacious rack, tote boxes, firewood, whatever else you need to carry. Nice spot to put all that. This is a 2-inch by 4-inch steel frame, powder coated, really robust, perfect for a trailer of this size. We're running the Cruisemaster DO35 articulating hitch, so this gives you the full 360-degree articulation. You'll see this on a lot of the trailers that we run. We're also running the Cruisemaster trailing arm suspension. So a trailer this size, having that trailing arm suspension is really nice when you're in those off-road conditions. Gives you a lot of softness, but then also great performance at highway speeds as well. All right, let's go take a look at the cabin on the inside. One thing I like about the Outback is the setup on the doors. It is a really nice large door, easy to get in and out. You do have a place to sit here if you're going to sit down, put on your shoes at night, or when you get up in the morning, that sort of thing. So with these doors, what happens is when you close it and we latch the handle, it actually sucks it in to get that nice tight seal. To prevent any dust from coming in. So the cabin on the inside of the Outback is actually really spacious. You do have some nice cabinetry up above for your clothes storage and gear. And then you have additional storage on the front of the cabin right behind your headboard. So this is a nice hidden access for certain items you need to put back there, perfect for bags and purses and that sort of thing. Above the bed, you do have your blackout screen shade as well as your screen. Nice ventilation on the front of the cabin, which is great. Dimmable lights on the side, 12-volt power points. With the inverter, you have your 110 axis as well. And on the rear of the cabin, we have the Victron Servo communication screen, so you can see your visibility for your battery monitoring, and then the Truma controller for your hot water heater, as well as your furnace. You have lighting up above for your interior lighting, as well as your exterior lighting, one on each side, so you do have floodlights on the outside of the trailer as well. The mattress on the Outback 120 is a full XL, so this is a full width with a queen length. You're right about 54 by 80 inches. Very typical for a lighter, smaller teardrop like this. And there is an option to have an upgraded mattress here that you can fold into a couch. So if you'd like to fold it up and have a little bit more usable space in the rear, whether for sitting inside, maybe using the computer at night, or even just for additional storage where you can load in gear and equipment onto the floor instead of on the mattress, it's a really nice option to have that upgraded mattress. So as you enter, one thing you'll really notice about the Outback is the thickness of this wall. This is almost 3 inches thick. So you can really tell how it's designed to handle that colder weather environment with that heavy insulation in this wall panel. And in addition to that, we have the double glazing on the front window. Gives you nice insulation, reduces condensation. Great setup for there as well. What's great about the Outback is it can be towed by pretty much any vehicle out there that's off-road and overlanding. It only comes in at about 2,400, 2,500 pounds dry. It has a gross vehicle weight rating of 4,200 pounds, so you can load this up with gear and accessories if you want to, but typically you'll run this even under 3,000 pounds with all your gear on there. So if you have a Jeep, you have a lighter truck, you can typically do it with the Outback. We hope you enjoyed the video of the Outback 120. If you'd like to learn more, please visit us on our website at xgridcampers.com or see us at one of our 2 showrooms in Las Vegas, Nevada and Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll see you soon.